Hello, everyone. Welcome to Fresh to Death Comics, the podcast. I'm your host, B. Luke. I have Amy here. Hello, Amy.
Hey guys, how's it going?
So, last we left, I was dying every podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to report
You're
that
still alive.
I'm alive and nothing bad has happened between this last podcast. Like,
for a fucking change.
I'm kind of happy. I'm like, oh, no news to report. At least physically. Mentally, Amy has fucked me up forever. It is Halloween season. It is spooky season.
It is.
And as you guys
the
know from
most
past years,
wonderful
we like
time.
to watch horror movies. It started back when I was with Hans. I was never the only horror movies I watched growing up were the Saw movies. And like monster movies like Attack of the Killer Tomatoes or if the villain could die, I could watch it. But if it was a demon or like a Mike Myers where it's some kind of entity, maybe
It's unkillable.
Yeah, that's when it crossed the line, which was different for you growing up.
Oh
correct?
yeah, my mother read Stephen King while I was in the womb, so that's why I am the way I am. I definitely watched the Children of the Corn series while I was a child.
Never seen it. So, which is kind of a theme for Halloween. So, Hans got me on this journey of watching movies, and he did cross the line a few times of some dynamic movies that we may have watched, like the VHS series. Kind of love them, but it scares me a lot.
Or like when we watched The Conjuring and everything that had to do with The Conjuring.
Yes, he got me into the Conjuring and the Insidious movies, so they were scary. And now, Amy, you have jumped a bar, and you're like, we're gonna watch this. Like, one of the first movies we watched was The Shining.
Yep.
I tried to impress you with It because I watched It Chapter 2 in our second date.
Yeah,
Like I had seen,
you tried.
I saw it in Sandusky, Ohio, opening night on my trip around America, and I had seen it, and I was scared, so scared during that time of watching it. But you had mentioned, oh, I love Stephen King movies, so I was like, ooh, I've seen It Chapter 2. We can go see it because if you get scared, I'll put my arm around you and I will comfort you because I've seen this movie.
Yeah, you'll do
It
that.
is scary the second time, and turns out Amy was just like, it was like she's watching a football game. She's laughing and going, what is this? This is fun. There was no, come here, darling, let me hold you. None.
Not on your part, maybe a little for me. No, but I distinctly remember there was definitely a scene where I can't even remember what exactly it was, but you just went, ah! And I, at the same time, just started laughing.
Was that the Bill Hader scene?
Yes.
Yeah, when when the lumberjack is coming at him. That was so scary. That's why I was so terrified when I went to Maine and I saw the lumberjack man. I kind of thought he might have gone after us. So anyway, fast forward to this year. I really wanted to focus on maybe some scarier movies. So I said, Amy, I open up the floodgates. Give me a movie. And you had me watch The Ring.
Yes. And I have a very specific reason, and that is because that was like one of the first defining movies for me. And I'm going to say it's because that was the one movie that everybody at school was talking about. Everybody was scared from it. Like, we made jokes for years and years and years about it afterwards.
What kind of jokes? I mean, I don't remember anyone talking about this. So maybe they were making jokes, but I just didn't understand them.
Oh,
Like, what kind of jokes you talking about?
Oh, like somebody would call up somebody's house and just go, like, oh, hey, is Jennifer there? And then they'd be like, okay, yeah, she's right here. And then they'd be like, hello, it's Jen. And then you'd just be like, 7 days. And then just hang up. So things like that were happening.
Were you calling prank people or calling your friends?
Your friends. The friends that you watched the movie with.
Oh, okay.
And doing
No,
like 7 days.
never did that.
And then to find out that The Ring is a whole series in Japan as well. So then, of course, because we were those weird kids, we watched the Japanese versions also.
You did not tell me this. It goes. Is it as dumb as the American version?
Okay,
Okay,
I'm going to say
what I mean by
no.
dumb is the whole premise is this girl is abused by her parents, or more specifically her father, I guess. And she is thrown into this well to die, but she wants someone to tell her story, so she put it into a form of entertainment for them to watch, kind of like Jumanji did with like a board game for
Sure.
the kids, and now it's video games for the newest Jumanji. That's the way I've understood it.
I mean,
But she
yeah.
has put like
She
this
put it
super
into
video. It doesn't make any sense, but if you watch it, you die, and I don't understand it. Is it the same thing?
Yes, but also your chair moved at that exact moment and it sounded like the kid from The Grudge. Sorry. But back to the Ring, which is in the same vibe as The Grudge. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, after watching it now, a little over 20 years later, maybe like 23 years later, there's some things that do not hold up very well. Also, the fact that when she was that one scene when she was in the tape room, like trying to like peel that layer, and she peeled the fly off of the window or off of the screen, and like she was like, "The fuck is this?" She just like talks into a mic that's like plugged into this tape wall unit, and she's just like, help, help, and I'm just like, that is not how those things work. I know what those things are work. Like, use those intercoms to talk to your tape operator while you're running the news. That is what those are for. There's no one just listening to those all the time. That is not how that works. So that shattered the illusion for me a little bit, and it was downhill from there.
It was scary. I was a little scared. Not a whole bunch, but my scary meter had went up.
I have a question for you, actually.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna spoil it. So if you haven't seen The Ring, why are you listening to this podcast? The climactic scene, Noah has not done what Samara wants to do, and she shows up on his TV screen, and she starts to climb out of the TV. What were your thoughts? What were your thoughts? I need to know. Were you scared?
Oh, I was terrified. Like, here's the thing. In my mind, it's a demon, so I'm like, you can't trust it. It's not really this little girl. You can't trust it. And then when TV turned on, I was like, what are you doing? Get out. Run. Why are you staying there watching the television? You know somehow you fucked up. Run.
That is also what I was thinking too. Like, this is something that didn't age well. Like, if she can only, like, quote unquote, get you when you're alone, why didn't they pick up on that and, like, run out in public? Like, I think they were living in Seattle. Like, it's not an empty city.
No, I mean, they could have called Dr. Fraser Crane. He would have helped them. That was on.
Oh, baby, I hear the demons calling. Toss salads and scrambled brains.
Oh, yeah.
Quite nice.
Sorry, we have. I with noises, with different, especially this last month, I need stuff to kind of play in the background. So I got hooked onto Frasier. Now I'm drinking wines and talking fancies sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
That's a wonderful series.
Yeah.
But it's just interesting how, because I was interested in the first thing he did, which was Cheers, and how we're talking about time changing things. Like, Cheers has not aged well.
No. I didn't realize how badly it had aged.
Like the sexism, the whole premise of Sam
Yeah.
dating one of his employees
That he personally hired.
Like, there's some sexual harassment going on nowadays.
Yeah.
Like, that's not okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then in Frasier, there's some things that they do. I'm like, oh, that's not good. And and now we're watching the new season of Frasier, and I have to say, I'm kind of enjoying it, but I didn't realize how much Frasier relies on Niles as his
Right.
character.
That's all
soundboard.
I have been thinking of was like, this show needs Niles.
I'm like, this British guy they got in to play his best friend, Does not work. It just bothers me, and I wish we'd see more of Niles. But maybe we will. I don't know. We're on the
I don't know
second
either.
episode, but
You know as much as I do at this point.
when we're not watching, so let's get back to Halloween because this is what
Yeah.
we were whole talking. Because I don't want to talk about this. Terrifier 3. We
All right.
decided to watch it because I was like, I want to watch a movie this year. It's supposed to be scary. Everyone loves Art the Clown. This seems in your vein of neighborhood.
This seems
And
sure.
also,
we
it's
all
super
have also,
violent. And I'm like, oh, this is like Saw-like.
except we've also previously watched Terrifier 1 and 2 and All Hallows Eve and everything else that has Art the Clown in it.
Correct. Which is completely different than this movie. This movie, those are child's books compared to this movie.
Yeah.
Those are nice, prancing through the lilies of wonderness of fun.
Something
And
you
this
watch.
is this might be the scariest movie I've ever seen.
I would
It may ever exist.
I would agree with you on that. I was like, there was a lot of children in the movie right off the bat, and I was like, oh, like he's gonna be tame. He's not gonna do anything to a kid. Boy, was I wrong. Because the very first scene, we hear him just mutilate this child.
Yeah, opening scene, you find out not even the children are safe.
No
like
one
that,
is
that
literally
is the
no
kind
one
of premise.
and nothing is safe.
Do you need to watch the second one to understand the third? Because this is like the #1 movie in the box office right now.
Correct. And
And-
also one of the most successful.
Correct. And what it's done to the watching Terrifier 2 is free on a lot of apps.
Yes.
So getting access and watching it is pretty easy.
Mhm.
So to watch that and go, I liked this. I wonder if I liked Super Saiyan God this.
Mm-hmm.
Because that is the jump. We're not just talking regular person
Oh,
to Super
no.
Saiyan. You're jumping up Super Saiyan 2 all the way up to Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan Blue and all the way up there. That is the extreme. Like
Rose.
it is the extreme vile. Like the whole and even like they bring this. I guess you do need to watch the first one too because they have a character that comes back from the first one.
Vicky.
And her, like, I can see Vicky and Art's Halloween costumes from years from now.
Oh, yeah. Like, that's going to be a couple's costume for a while. However, I just got freaked out when we saw somebody dressed up as Art the Clown at frickin' Terrificon. And I was like, no, 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 no. Putting blinders on myself. That was a lot.
But here's the thing.
Vicky be even scarier.
Did Endicott or Binghamton have a clown epidemic? Because a few years ago, Elmira had a clown epidemic where like people were just walking
And
around
like
the streets
nobody
in
knows
clowns.
why.
Yeah, they were just doing
it.
and they weren't hurting anybody.
And it was not a promotion for it.
No,
That was
this is
what
before.
I was like,
it
this
in
is
the
great.
middle of
They
it.
should start doing this.
It was in the middle of it
Yeah.
because people were dressing up as Pennywise.
Yep.
But like they were dressing up as their own version of clowns, and they were just like standing in front of people's houses.
Yeah.
Not doing anything, just standing. And it's not illegal apparently just to stand in front of someone's
But it's
house.
so creepy because they can't do anything to, like, if they're just there on the sidewalk, they could just be there
So like
on the sidewalk.
yeah, in Elmira, some of them were taking the bus and just sitting there looking at people. And then they were like, "There's no clowns allowed on buses."
Oh, like there was a mass band of clowns.
Yeah, like it became a thing. Like you cannot enter the store as a clown. Like it was
no clowns allowed.
It was weird. Did you have this in Binghamton?
I don't think so, but I remember hearing about this epidemic. Like for some reason, it was like Maryland, right? Too, where it was happening.
Yeah, it was in certain cities, and Elmira was just wanting to be it.
That is one thing that I think bothers me is not knowing why there was a clown epidemic.
Yeah,
all
like
of a
where
sudden.
did it come from? So
Is it like zombies? Was there just some like radioactive material that just flew overhead and caused all the clowns just to like driven to certain, location points with latitude and longitude?
because I don't think I was working at party time at that point. because I don't remember having like. I feel like I would have known more about the clown epidemic. But I just saw it on the news and was like, and then some of my friends were like, "Yo, there's clowns, and we should go see them." And I remember driving around trying to find them.
Clown
I was
chasers.
clown chasing.
That's the name of the episode.
That's before we were figuring it out.
Yep.
So anyway, so this Terrifier clown is back, and he's out for revenge of anyone who's ever besmirched his name.
Or really anybody he comes across.
Well, yeah, I mean, you besmirch his name. If my mission is to go to McDonald's and get a Happy Meal, I'm going to kill everybody I see on my way to the Happy Meal.
Yeah.
Like, that's the kind of movie this is. Like, he sees someone and goes, "Hi."
Death.
Side plot. It's like
Yep.
this. He's the ADHD of clowns. Like, he has a mission to kill this, and he's like, "Woo, bird."
Always death.
But
Hauntingly.
the plot,
No.
the plot's weak. The plot is outrageous. I don't even understand.
What plot? This is a very loose plot.
Listen, there's a thing with her father,
It's
and
like-
she's a warrior princess, the one of the characters, and I don't understand it. But there is. All right, here's a spoiler for Terrifier if you have not watched it.
Terrifier 3.
Yes. This main character girl is supposed to be like the anti-art. Like, she's supposed to be the one who fights him. And she gets her hands beat up pretty badly. And when Art disappears, her hands get healed.
Mm-hmm.
So in my mind, this is kind of building up like the Matrix between Agent Smith and Neo, because every time Neo kept on getting more powers, all of a sudden Agent Smith got more powers, and when Agent Smith got more, like they were in constant.
They just keep like one-upping each
yeah,
other, basically.
and I feel like this
competitively.
is very Matrixy.
Except
and I
it's
wonder
not.
what the next one's going to bring.
Because-
If all of
yeah.
a sudden if she starts slowing down time, like Art goes to slash her and she does like some kind of Matrix move, you heard it here first. Oh man,
Don't say that too loud. Damian Leone might listen.
what if he does and decides to add it because of me and I'm helping him right? Oh man,
Man.
you know it's filmed in New York, right?
Yeah, we
Like, I don't
learned
know
that. That
where
was
in New
fun.
York, but like
I don't know.
here's the thing: would you want to be in Terrifier?
Yeah. Yeah, no.
A guy dressing up like Art the Clown is going to be coming at you to stab you and
you
kill
will
you.
never erase that
and
in your mind.
and part of you
ever.
goes, "Oh, this is part of the act."
Mhm.
But also, what if it's not? What if there's a secret psychopath who went on stage and killed the real?
What if it was an accident? What if this was actually happening?
Well, that's what I
What
mean.
if
Like,
he
what
actually
if?
tries to murder me?
What
on
if?
camera?
What if there's a
It's all joke.
psychopath clown killer who actually kills the? What is his name? David Thornton or?
Yeah.
What
Something
if they
like that.
some guy kills him, then dresses up like the Terrifier clown, comes on the set with you, and they say action, and he starts stabbing you, and everyone's like, "Amy, you're such a good actor," and you're like, "No!" It's like the scary movie, like,
Yep.
"Help me!"
Yep.
Like that's all I picture. Like I don't know if I could be in a Terrifier movie.
Damien. Friend. Like we're
Stop auditioning me! I don't want to be in the movie. It's so scary.
No, I'm just saying.
How would I get through my lines? I couldn't. I would have to be like, ah, ah, ah. It's all you're gonna get out of me is just
That's all we
girl.
need.
And then the closer he gets, the more girlish shrieks. Like, okay, now
Guys,
I'm gonna
if
be a
only-
scream queen now.
Yeah, basically. I mean,
Man,
if they
Jamie Lee
want to
Curtis.
audition you, Brian, all they need to do is put you in a room with a bee.
Or a spider.
It's a
So
That's what we've been up to lately.
I couldn't go to sleep.
Oh yeah.
And I was just up, so I decided to read because I was like, I need to read something to get my mind off of things.
Oh yeah.
And it turns out the DC universe is also a horror story because we're going to be talking about the DC All In event
Yes.
because they are changing the game of what's going on. There has been a tear in the multiverse,
Yes.
and they can view into it. And apparently, it's this ultimate universe, but they're gonna we're the DC universe is calling it the absolute universe.
Yeah.
So, if you're familiar with Marvel Comics and how they have their
Hmm.
ultimate universe, this is
The
the
absolute.
absolute This is the ultimate equals absolute, which is different from the other multiverses that we've seen, like the Batman Who Laughs. I don't know how this is different
Yeah, I
than those multiverses, but this multiverse that they've opened up, like they've decided that this universe is going to have some strings attached, that they're not just going to be these random characters that we're going to fight. We should know who they are. And this DC All In event book is absolutely great because you read it from one side.
hmm And then I was reading it. I had to stop and be like, I flip it over and read from the other side, don't I? You went, yes, you do.
Because you flip it around and then you read it from our standpoint, then flip it around and you read it from the alt
From
absolute version,
yeah.
and it's leading up to this event. But before we get to this event, we have to learn about this universe and where they came from. So now we're getting into the absolute versions of these characters. So there's the absolute Batman. They're going to have absolute Wonder Woman, and coming out in November is going to be absolute Superman.
hmm
So, Amy, you read Absolute Wonder Woman.
I
Tell
did.
us about it.
Well, absolute Wonder Woman. Take Diana Prince. Like she's been plucked out of the mascara as a little baby. All of the other Amazons have been imprisoned by Apollo, and they are going to be executed. So Diana is now the last living Amazon. And the god that drops her off into hell, because, oh yeah, that's where they're going to raise Diana, is in hell. So she's a hell princess. Bans the name, makes Circe, I'm assuming that's how you say her name, Circe, unable to say the word Amazons, which is really cool in the book because it just pops up as scribbles, almost like static in like like TV static. But this whole journey is just this flip of literally Wonder Woman, like we said in the rundown, not having any sisterhood, any family except for Circe. It's literally just her and Circe on this island in hell, and they're battling like demons are trying to break through the door, and they're trying to do things and live life, and it's as if Diana was like she is raised in hell. And it's just so far, I mean, we've just had the first issue out, but it is just a cool concept to see that she's a protector, but more because it's the thing to do, not because of this like noble idea of good. It's just, the thing to do, if that makes sense.
So, does she have her same? What makes her Wonder Woman? Does she have the lasso of truth? Does she have like her same abilities?
I would say only the fighting abilities, but not. I would say not as trained as we would see her normally as the Amazons. Like she's still very powerful in her strength, but I don't think she's as strong as she is, at least yet, because we only see her as full grown Diana Prince for a couple panels or a couple pages. So this is more, we're going to see more of like what she can do and what she's capable of. But I will say, one couple favorite things from this issue was when they first drop off little baby Diana, and there's a snake slithering in there, and Cersei's like, "Oh, I don't know, if they're just gonna kill this child anyways," and she's like, "Oh, is this the right thing for me to do?" Blah blah blah. Diana just grabs this fucking snake, and in the next panel, throws it across the cave, and thank you, Kelly Thompson, for doing this. Just wrote yeet. Like, I snapped a picture of it. I had to. It was so funny to me. Just yeeted the snake across a cave. Point one. I was like, this is great. Point two, she has a friend. She rides around on a skeleton Pegasus to get around.
A skeleton Pegasus?
A skeleton Pegasus.
How? Like,
don't know. It's just fucking cool.
that is awesome.
That is awesome. But, like, it's a cool flip on something you never would have thought of as a Wonder Woman story. So I'm really curious to see where this is going to go.
So I read Absolute Batman.
Yes.
And this is, like, how can you change Batman's story without going too far? And they made it that Batman was younger. It was, like, at a children's play place.
Oh, jeez.
Where it happens. And so Bruce Wayne isn't, like, he doesn't really have any money. So he becomes like a bad boy on the street. He gets arrested. He leaves. And he's not seen again. Now he's back in the town. Alfred's out driving. He's not the butler. He's just out there doing missions, shooting people with guns. He's like this super like agent guy. So it's kind of cool to see.
Is he, like, still taking care of Bruce in
No.
a way? Or he's just separate living his own life?
I'm not sure yet. Like,
Yeah.
I think they're talking to each other because they're talking on comms, but I'm a little hesitant to trust that connection yet. But Batman's kind of on his own. And one of my favorite parts is if you're familiar with some of the Batman artwork that they've done where he has the big giant horns for his ears, those are his weapons. He detaches them from his head and then
Use them as nunchucks?
No, he detaches them and uses them like knives, like they have the pointy ends, and starts like chopping people.
Wow.
It is dark, and I'm like, damn, this is this Batman. He's killing people.
Yeah. Like,
But then there's, oh no. I'm sorry. Him and Alfred are not friends. I regret. Because I'm thinking about it through the issue. Like, he's not killing the people,
Mm-hmm.
but he's stabbing them. So I don't know how.
and you're seeing, like, blood
Oh
splatter.
yeah, blood splatter.
Yeah.
Like, Scott Snyder has been. He's like, I'm gonna make this as pushing the line as I can with a DC book. Like, there's a lot of blood. There's a lot of, and then Batman
Is All In just the Terrifier of the DC world?
maybe. So Bruce sees Alfred and goes, "Hey, I thought that was you." And he goes, I found your gun. And he goes, "You can't shoot me, Bruce. You wouldn't dare." And he goes, "I won't." And he shoots him in the face.
Oh, shit.
But he made it non-lethal.
Yeah.
So they're just like...
Shot him in the cheek.
He shot him with a shotgun full of, like, darts.
Oh.
Like, it was kind of like... So he's got all these darts in him.
Okay.
So it was just... But it's just an interesting version of Batman. He's just dark. And
Without the money.
And Scott Snyder's trying to build that, like, without Bruce, without his integrity to keep the city at base, the heart of Gotham is gone. And all the villains are now, like, together and friends. Like, the Penguin is called Ozzy. Like, everyone just calls him Ozzy. They're like, "Hey, Ozzy's going to take care of this." And Harley Quinn's part of this group. And, like, all the villains. Oh, Batman's training. Like, he trains in a boxing run by Killer Croc. But Killer Croc hasn't become Killer Croc yet. He's just really into crocodiles. Like, he's like, "I got to light." Like, he works at this gym, and he's like, "I got to clean up." Like, so this is just a funny scene. Like, Batman's punching the thing, and he's thinking about his past childhood. So he would do the flashbacks of what happened. And he busts open this bag. And he goes, "I'm sorry, I'll pay for it." And Killer Croc goes, all right, it's this much for the bag and this much for the sand. He goes, the sand comes in the bag. He goes, yeah, but with the sand in the ground, I could clean that up. Crocodiles and sand don't mix well together. And he pulls out this croc and he's like, I got my license. These crocodiles are going to be all over this gym. It was my favorite.
Just keep spare crocodiles with him in case he gets into trouble.
I don't know. Like, he got this license and he was so excited that this gym is now going, like, fights and stuff will have live crocodiles. Like,
I kind of just want to follow this man around.
right? And I'm just interested. I'm like, this is good shit right
Yeah,
there.
like where do we cross the line from like a semi like socially acceptable obsession with
Wayne Jenkins is his name, not Killing Croc. So
Oh, yeah.
it's the Jenkins farm, but he
Yeah.
has crocodiles.
But like to see this go from like a just obsession with crocodiles to fucking transitioning into Killer Croc.
I know, 'cause that's all I'm thinking about. Like, how are you going to become Killer Croc? Like, or are you just going to be like Spider-Man, just put on a costume?
And then just never take
Because
it
like
off.
the way they drew Waylon, like he's huge.
Yeah.
Like like he looks like Bane size.
Yeah, gotcha.
Like he's already massive.
Mhm.
Like he's a like,
Built like a brick shithouse.
if we're gonna make a movie today, Michael Clark Duncan may have been able to play him.
Okay.
He would have to have gone on a Hugh Jackman journey of muscles.
Oh yeah.
Because like they're bulging. So maybe like Shaq. Shaq would make a good Killer Croc.
We need to get that petition going then.
So I'm excited where this goes, and I'm just nervous because we can go any way with these absolute tie-ins.
Yeah.
And how long does this last? I mean, if we're all liking it and buying the book, they'll keep it going.
Oh yeah.
But if no one buys this book after the run's over, or what if Scott Snyder's only on it for the first arc? Like they're like in here it says 1 of 5 chapters.
Yeah.
So I don't know how many Wonder Woman was, but if
I think it's 1 of 5.
yeah, it does it continue? Like I know it's scheduled to go on, but if it doesn't do well in
Yeah,
sales,
it won't.
they could just abandon all of it, do the all in, all out. They'll call it the all out of it.
All out. DC, hire this man.
DC's all out event. They're going all out. Only one universe survives.
They went all in. Now see them go all out.
Because you never pull out.
Can't with you.
So my excitement of the Absolute books with this DC All-In, I tried my hand at reading some of the DC All-In books. And so I read Batman and the Green Lanterns. Gotta say, DC dropped the ball there.
Yeah.
Not user-friendly at all. You don't, like Batman, you jump into what's been happening last time. So I was trying to think of it as a new reader going in, and I'm bored. Because I'm like, I don't know what happened last time. You're making big deals about this. There was nothing to catch my eye of like new. This is new. I just felt like this is old. Like the DC All-In sticker kind of meant nothing. And then Green Lantern, there was a lot. There was a Civil War book that came out. So Green Lantern Civil Corps one-shot special.
Yeah.
And that was kind of a catch-up book of telling everything that's going on, of this Therasis guy, of how he's taking over. Still kind of confused, but then but the reason I'm reading it is because I love the other Lanterns. Like, to me, when Jeff Johns wrote Green Lantern and he included all of the Lanterns in his books, so you saw the orange and yellow and purple and pink, and you're like, oh, this is... I never like when it's just Green Lanterns.
Okay.
So with this
You like the whole world.
Yeah, so when this Civil War book, I'm like, oh, here's all the Lanterns. Like, they released Laura Freeze in this book. And I love Laura
You love
Freeze.
Laura Freeze.
Do you know about Laura Freeze?
I only know Laura Freeze from when we did that video of you opening the soda
the
can.
orange is he's the greediest man. He's orange like Trump. He is the Trump of, like...
I know exactly who he is now.
He keeps his lantern. There's only one holder of this lantern, and it's him. You come near it, you look like he's gold, like kind of think of Golem with his ring. He's
So Trump.
yeah. So like he loves this ring. So releasing him, and then Mogo, the Plan of Worlds, was turned into a Red Lantern, and that was the Kilowog is yellow. I'm just there's a lot going on, and so I'm excited, but like it's hard just to jump in
Yeah.
because like I'm starting to read it and going, I didn't read because you had to have read the Green Lantern War Journal, and I read half of that, so I
right.
knew a little bit. And then you had to have read all of Alan Scott's Green Lantern,
Yeah.
that little mini
Yep.
series,
Yep.
which was I liked it.
Yeah.
Didn't know it was going to tie in, so when I saw that, I was like,
Oh,
"Yay,
yay.
it mattered!"
Yeah.
But I was like, if other people didn't read this, they would have had a hard time.
Yeah. I
So
agree.
I know there's other DC all-in books coming out. Like this week, there's the Poison Ivy Swamp Thing.
Mm-hmm.
That might be a fun book if they don't drop it. But I just feel like
I think that's
this
only a one shot though, isn't it?
it is. It's a one
Yeah.
shot, but I mean, it can keep the ball rolling of like
Yeah. Yeah. This all in
absolute
world.
universe
Yeah.
and how it's going to tie in because with there being a rift in the universe, things can come in and out of rifts.
Correct.
And also, if one rift appears, there's going to be other rifts. So that's what I was
Correct.
thinking. Like throughout these all-in books, like we would have encountered rifts. Like they would have been like, "What is this?"
Or have they just not become as pronounced through their universe yet?
And maybe maybe I'm jumping the gun because
Yeah,
it's
you
DC.
could be. Yeah, look, they needed to get their footing first before they start.
I am excited this more than the Night Terrors event.
Yeah, I'm liking this, which I actually did like that little throwaway mention of Night Terrors and All In. It was like, we've been through changes and ups and downs and nightmares. And I was like, ha, I was there for that one.
And that's what's nice about the DC books is if you've read it, they give you recognition of like achievement unlocked. You know what they're talking about
Yep.
because you read this event. So like I read the multiverse. I read
Mhm.
this event. So for me I was like, "Oh yeah, okay." But it's nice it gives you an order of like, "Oh, I didn't read that one. Let me go back and read it."
Yeah.
So it's just I'm excited to see what happens with Superman.
I am too, and I just hope they're not going to nerf this series, like they did with the DC, the Nightmares event.
I, we're hoping for good things. This DC all in. I'm excited.
I hope
just
they
think
heard
it's a
us and they
little-
were like, "Guys, we got you."
Yeah, so I'm just hoping for more user friendly because I think that's what the DC universe needs is
Yes.
you get stuck in if you didn't jump in at this
Then
point
you're just
5
gonna
years
be
ago,
lost.
you're gone and you can't read this book.
Yeah,
Sucks
that's
to be you.
super fucking
And
frustrating.
I think that's sucks.
Yeah, it
why
does.
why Marvel? That's why Marvel keeps on getting readers. Is you have these readers who you get these number ones and you go, ooh, I can jump on and read it here.
Mm-hmm.
I know about Scarlet Witch. I watched her on television. I
Yes.
know, and then they'll kind of explain it. They give you one page of what happened last time, and it's everything you need to know summed up in one page,
Yep.
and it's beautiful.
Previously on Captain Marvel.
Exactly. She ran into this thing, and then she got attacked by Galactus.
Mhm.
But then she overpowered him and was reborn through the Phoenix crystal. And then she fought. Like they'll go through step by step. So when
Yep.
you read it and open it, you're like, you feel like you're with
Oh.
everybody.
Yeah.
With this, it's a lot of gatekeeping, and I don't like it.
Yeah, that's also been my complaint about DC books.
But
as
with this
well.
absolute universe, it was nice just to jump in.
Because you're literally starting at a 0 point.
Yeah, we're all starting at the same point, and
Yeah.
it's kind of exciting to. Like, I'm more excited about the Absolute Universe than the other universes because I'm
Mhm.
like, this is fresh and new, and I didn't have to read 20 years of Batman to understand this book.
Correct.
Because as much as I love Chip, you can't just jump into this new Batman book.
Yeah.
It was very hard of like,
Yep.
what's going
Like
on?
you said, gatekeeping.
Yeah,
If you
so-
weren't on the boat already, you're already in the water.
So those are the Absolute books. We'll figure out what happens with Superman. We have a lot of things planned. The next episode, I think we're going to talk about the Ultimate Universe of Marvel.
Yes.
Because we haven't talked about them in a while. Because Peach, we got to talk about
Yeah,
her.
we got to talk about Beach.
And then we got to talk about the new X-Men books. So we got a lot of episodes planned. Let us know what you guys want to listen to, what you want us to talk about, because there's so much to talk about. We're trying to break it down because there
There's so much,
there's the new
guys.
Turtles by Jason Aaron we haven't talked about
I
yet.
know. And we
Like,
met the guy.
I know he's the delightest person ever. So I'm excited. So stay tuned, guys. We have a lot of things planned, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody. Bye.